Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, as well as the head of Pennsylvania Police, we believe expected to speak now. Here they are. Let's listen in about the law enforcement shooting in York.
Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police. I'm going to address you this evening concerning a critical incident that has rocked the community here in York County this afternoon. The incident occurred in Codorus Township, York County. I'd like to preemptively say that there are many details which at this point we are not prepared to release given the ongoing nature of the investigation. That having been said, we would like to advise the community that there is no current active threat. The situation today involved law enforcement officers who were shot. I can confirm that the shooter is dead. I can confirm that there were 5 law enforcement officers who were shot today. 3 fatally, 2 that were transported here to Wellspan in York. They are currently listed in critical but stable condition. The District Attorney of York County, who is no stranger to this community, or in collaborating with the Pennsylvania State Police, Tim Barker, I've spoken to him. The Pennsylvania State Police has been asked to convene a major case team to conduct the lead in this investigation with the assistance and in collaboration and in partnership with the York County District Attorney. I can assure you that all of the resources of the Pennsylvania State Police are being brought to bear. There is still very much an active scene at Codorus Township, York County. Later this evening, the District Attorney will have more information to release. I can tell you that the Pennsylvania State Police have taken over calls for service for the Northern York Regional Police Department, and we will continue to do so to support our partners. I can tell you that I've spoken to the special agent in charge of the FBI out of Philadelphia, our municipal partners and county partners here in York County, and we've received multiple offers of assistance from our fellow state partners to include New Jersey and York. But we have a very large investigative scene. In being here today with our law enforcement family for the second time in 2025, I'd just like to say on a very personal note, our hearts and prayers go out to them, to the families of the deceased and the families of those officers who were wounded. There are simply no words that I can offer to assuage the grief that this community has experienced and unfortunately will continue to experience. The grief will be unbearable, but we will bear it. So we stand here today united for our partners all across the law enforcement spectrum, and we will not rest until we've conducted a full, fair, competent, and thorough investigation into this matter. Lastly, I would simply ask to the community here in York County and beyond, all across Pennsylvania and all across our nation, if you could keep the families that were touched by this tragedy today in your thoughts and prayers. Please give them a solemn thought. And to the women and men who are working diligently right now to push this incident forward and the investigation forward and the aftermath that will have to be dealt with and persevered through, our hearts and prayers are with them.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And earlier today, we have yet another police shooting where 3 officers have been confirmed to be fatally shot and 2 other officers are in critical condition. And this happened earlier today in Codorus Township in Pennsylvania. And the police chief said that this is a critical incident that has rocked the community. And these incidents are always held in higher regard as opposed to the language that is used when police kill innocent citizens. I always have to make that comparison because there's no regard for the dead when a police kills a person, but it's always regard and prayers, and no words can explain the grief when police officers are killed. So somebody tell me in the comments, what is that distinction when we're talking about death and the families of those affected by the death? You actually heard that police officer say we're going to keep the families of those affected by the death. You never hear that when police officers kill. citizens. Nevertheless, once again, this happened in Codorus Township. Another thing we have failed to disclose, or they have failed to disclose, is the identity of the shooter. And of course, we all know now. You've seen the caption, you've seen the title of the video. A white man has killed 3 police officers and critically injured 2. Now, I don't have any surety, any proof that it's a white man, but still I don't have any doubt that it's a white man. The reason being, Codorus Township is a town of about 3,800 people. And of those 3,800 people, it is 98.3% white and only 0.08%, less than 1% of African American. And so I would bet my last bottom dollar that it is a white man that has enacted the violence on these police officers. So once again, I say, why is not his identity already put on the news? Because it is said that he is dead from a self-inflicted wound. So there's no worry about him escaping or somebody helping him to get flipped free because he's already deceased. So why not plaster this example of extreme violence to the highest level of violence that could be done? Killing 3 police officers and possibly killing 2. And this is in the wake of the whole blacks are criminals, the whole Charlie Kirk narrative that, blacks, are the gang violence and all of those things. Here it is once again, another white man exacting extreme violence. A white young man shot Charlie Kirk, and now a white man has killed 3 officers and critically injured 2. Now, let's take a listen to this governor, as once again, he is going to express that same sentiment of sympathy for these officers, but not condemning the act of violence. Just take a look at this, and this is fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. Just watch.
This is an absolutely tragic and devastating day for York County and for the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We grieve for the loss of life, for 3 precious souls who served this county, served this Commonwealth, and served this country. We continue to pray for the full recovery of those who are dealing with their wounds. This, of course, is on the heels of just a few months ago when we lost another York County son, Officer Duarte, who again gave his life in the line of service. I had the opportunity with the Lieutenant Governor and with Senator Phillips Hill, Representative Grove, and your 3 county commissioners to spend some time with the families of those who have been impacted by this violence today. I think it's important for you to know that these families who are dealing with, they're grieving right now and they're suffering right now, took time to tell us how proud they are of their loved ones who put on a uniform to keep us safe. It's an extraordinary thing that these law enforcement families do. They support the individual who puts on the uniform and runs toward danger. They're there for them when they leave in the morning, and they pray throughout the day that they will come home at night. So I hope as this community comes together, as I know it knows how to do, and prays, that we think not just about those who wear the uniform, but those who stand behind and next to those who wear the uniform every day. These families are extraordinary, and I hope you'll join me in prayer for them. I had some time to spend with the law enforcement who are gathered here today, who ran here because they knew that their brothers in uniform were in danger or their lives were cut short. I'll just share with you what I told them. The entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania respects them, and we have their backs. And we so appreciate the work that they do every single day when they go out to keep us safe, when they go out to protect our freedoms and our rights. This is something that sadly we only tend to share in times of tragedy. I think it is important that this Commonwealth knows that every day we appreciate those who put on the uniform and those who keep us safe. There are others here at WellSpan who wear different kind of uniforms. And I want to say thank you to the doctors, to the nurses, to the staff here at this extraordinarily wonderful healthcare institution that sadly has seen too much trauma, but thanks to their extraordinary talents and their dedication to their neighbors, they're able to help people get back up on their feet.
All right, so I'm just going to stop it right there because I can't listen any longer. Not once is there the narrative of terrible violence. We have to stop people from harming law enforcement. This guy was a terrible human being. It's all dedicated to, well, we have to pray for the families, and law enforcement officers, they have, families, and the people who law enforcement officers kill also have families. But I never hear as much sympathy displayed by these governors, by these police chiefs, by these DAs, by these political representatives when police kill innocent citizens. And I'm not being callous to the loss of that life, but I just have, it's obvious to me how these narratives have spun. Now, say that was 3 black people getting shot by an officer, there would be no condolences, there would be no prayers, there would be no acts of sympathy. The whole thing will be garnered to villainizing that person that they shot or justifying them taking the life. And so in this situation, because it is a white man, and once again, I have no surety of doubt of that, but I have no doubt. Again, I'll say it again. I have no clarity. I have no proof that it was a white man who did it, but I also have no doubt, because regardless of how they say, when they encounter black men, they're always fearing for their life. And he had a gun, or he had a knife, or he had a bottle, or he had a phone, or he had some juice, or he had some Skittles, or he had a cigarette. Whatever the case may be, black men are not going around shooting police. More often times than not, situations like these is done by white people. White people. So I guess they will eventually release the suspect's identity as well as the officer's identity, but this is just in. But, I just find it horrific how the narrative has changed now to, tough on crime, tough on violent criminals, law and order, to prayers for the family. And, literally, right in the next state, Ohio, some black people got into a fight with some white people, and they had to call in the National Guard. The vice president spoke about it. President Trump tweeted about it. Every law enforcement officer in the nation was outraged. But here it is, a white man kills 3 police officers and critically wounds 2 in crickets. So that is the double standard. When the violence is all white, it's all right, as I've said before. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, peace and blessings. Scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.